Hello, my name is Patrick Burns. I'm your host today at the MCC Culinary Arts Center with Naomi Winter.
Yeah, I'm the president of Muscatine Community College.
How's your day going?
Hey, it's going great. So thanks for meeting us today. This is really a great story that I want to tell you. We are in a restaurant called the Button Factory, and actually I've been in Muscatine for about 2.5 years, and by the time I had moved here, this restaurant had already closed. But from what I've heard from people who've been here for a long time, it was actually a really great restaurant in its time. You could see the beautiful view of the Mississippi River. There's upstairs like banquet facilities. There's a giant kitchen. And what happened was a couple years ago, a man named Andy McClellan, he's a developer, and he's actually on the premises here today, came to me and he said, we are building a hotel, the hotel that you see right across the street from here, and we want to train chefs and people who work in the hospitality industry. Can you help us? So I had two issues right off the bat. I had no place for a culinary program, so you've been on the campus, you know that we don't have a kitchen, right? And I had no program. So I said, well, I can't do it immediately, but let me see what I can do. So what we were able to achieve is we have a program at Scott Community College, right, which is one of our sister colleges, has a lot of awards, and I can tell you about that program here in a bit. So they agreed to bring their teachers down to Muscatine. So that was one problem solved, right? The lack of program. The second thing was the Merrill hotel that owns this place, this Button Factory, agreed to let us use this lab as our culinary space. So our students use a restaurant grade facility to learn. So that was the second problem that was solved. So last winter, about 1.5 years ago, we actually launched our program here, and the students are in an apprenticeship program. So they do hands-on work in the classroom that you see right across the hall from there, and then what they're learning in their textbooks, they immediately apply in the kitchen. So it's a real hands-on program. And then they also get up to 6,000 hours over the course of their journey in hours that they have hands-on in an area restaurant. So all of the restaurants right now are benefiting from our apprentices. So that's an apprenticeship program, again, this very hands-on learning. But it couldn't have happened without this site and without this partnership that we have with the Merrill Hotel. The other thing that was added, so you as MCC students don't normally see the site, right? So we have high school seniors who are in a career academy. They come every day, Monday through Friday, for a couple of hours, and they are in their senior year earning about 15 credits of a culinary program right here on this site. So they actually partner with Geneva Country Club, and they do their hands-on training there. So that is a really great example of a college working with business partners and filling a need for workers, right? So the Merrill Hotel is going to open at the end of March. And actually I had a tour of it just a few weeks ago, and it's going to be a beautiful facility. There's a need for hotels in this area. Think about all of the big businesses that are here, H&I, Kent, Monsanto, all of those. They bring in people, right, to train and to visit. And so part of the idea is that they would be able to stay at this gorgeous hotel. Can I tell you about some of the events that we've hosted here already?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so one that's coming up is on April 10th, and that is actually not going to be at the Button Factory, it'll be at the hotel. It is called MCC Legends, and we are honoring, for the first time ever, Stan and Helen Howe as contributors to Muscatine Community College. And the idea is going to be 10 area restaurants are going to bring their signature dish, so a 1 or 2 ounce portion of something that they're known for, and you'll have 10 stations from which to choose. So during the course of the evening, you'll try something from Guadalajara, then you'll try something from Tantra Thai, you'll try something from Yaki Shack. So we're having a lot of variety in that menu, and then there'll be a silent auction, there'll be a video program that Chad is helping us produce to tell the story about Stan and Helen. The other thing we've done right here is when we had the tornado in March, I think, that affected MCSA and affected Wesley Church and a lot of the properties. We held a fundraiser right here, and our students and the chefs prepared a beautiful pasta buffet, and we partnered with Rotary Club, the Community Foundation, and so we had this place packed with people, and all of the proceeds went to a fund that's held at the Community Foundation for people who needed emergency help. Like we had families who lost, mattresses and clothing and needed emergency shelter, so we were able to help with that. So again, a real impact locally that is possible through this location.
Right on.
Yeah, I know. Lots of great things to tell. Do you like to cook yourself, Patrick?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What kind of things do you like to cook?
I make a pretty good bowl of cereal. It's pretty good.
This is hot or cold? Or both?
Nah, just cold.
Just cold?
Just
okay.
cold. Cold's the best. And some ramen noodles. I can. I got this secret spice.
Yes.
You
You have a special brand that you go for?
Just ramen.
Just the,
some people go.
Yeah.
I mean, either way. I mean, it's the same thing, but yeah. I also sometimes I make this like a quesadilla thing. I don't really know what to call it, so I just kind of call it a quesadilla thing, and it's pretty good. What else? I get kind of experimentative as far as ramen noodles goes, and I make this thing called authentic Chinese food, but it's not authentic at all. It's like fried eggs, some ramen noodles, and then like a tortilla, and I put it in there. And it tastes like Chinese food, and it works out for me. But I mean, it's cost effective, and it's.
So actually, it sounds a little bit like the dish I tried last night. So we have Chinese guests here in Muscatine today, and 40 musicians from a national level orchestra are visiting the Merrill Hotel right now. They're taking a tour. But last night we met them at China Garden restaurant, and the idea is they're having homestays. So all those musicians, they travel the world all the time. They've been to Europe, Brazil, Japan, all over the place. But when they come to Muscatine, they like to see how, like average people live, right? So we're hosting 2 of those musicians in our home. Julia Diekman, who teaches agriculture for us, is hosting 4 of the musicians. She actually took a group of MCC and MHS students to China for a month last summer. But it's Chinese New Year, right? So that's the reason they're here. And they made this, it's called a meat pie, but it was actually like a very thin pancake. It was like this round, and it had kind of meat and some vegetables inside of it, and then they warmed it up on a hot plate right in front of you, and then they like made it into a tortilla kind of. And so that was very traditional for the region where they were. So my guests are from Shanghai. That's kind of in the western part of China, I think. And so they really appreciated, that tie-in, that the restaurant had researched something special for them. And then we all partook in the buffet and got to know our people. I actually got to FaceTime with the 2-year-old daughter of the flautist who's staying with us. And so she was real cute this morning. We were just waving to each other and saying hello, and I'm sure she misses her mom, but they're used to that, travel across the world deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually bumped into a couple of them today when I was at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to say hi, but I wasn't sure if I should interrupt them. They look pretty busy, but I was like right on. I was like, cool.
Right. Yeah, they had a really busy schedule today. I know they met with the mayor. They had a meeting at the History and Industry Museum just down the road from here. They went to the Friendship House near the high school, which is where President Xi Jinping stayed when he visited Muscatine, like back in the 80s. I think they took a bus tour of Muscatine. They went to Walmart to probably do some shopping. Then they practiced for a couple of hours, and then the free concert is tonight. And I know that Governor Reynolds is coming. Someone from the consulate, the Chinese consulate in Chicago is coming. So it should be a really, really great event.
Oh man, when is that?
It's at 7 o'clock tonight at Central Middle School.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not to be missed, yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, so this is the third year in a row that we've hosted a national level orchestra in Muscatine. So they come to the States, they perform, like a normal symphony where you pay for tickets, $100 tickets or so in Chicago. They perform in Detroit, and then they perform in Muscatine for free. So there's no reason to not be there, really. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to tell you a little bit about Steve Hall, our chef here, who leads the academy that I was telling you about with the high school students, also teaches the other students in the apprenticeship program. He's had, probably 25, maybe 30 years of experience in luxury restaurants. He's worked on cruise boats or cruise ships, I think. He himself has a Turkish background, and he also speaks Spanish fluently. So we thought that, especially for Muscatine, where we know there's about a 25% Latino population, that we could really attract students of Latino background into this program because his fluency in the language. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Sounds like he has an interesting life.
Really
he went on cruise ships?
He did,
That's
yeah.
insane.
And actually he wanted to study like dentistry or something. When he first started college, he was going down that road, but he realized he has this passion for cooking and making an impact on people's lives, I think, through food and through really taking care of them. And so he really changed courses, and you can, when he speaks and talks to the students, you can really see that that energy. He's found the thing that he loves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. A couple of the students he has now aspire to own their own restaurants, and so they're really learning what it takes to do that as well, not just the cooking skills.
Oh yeah, you definitely need the business skills as well, because if you're going to run the restaurant, you want to be able to handle the time books and the checkbooks and whatnot.
Payroll, and,
exactly.
Right? Like how much food do you buy and what do you charge for meals, right? So
just the whole statistics and everything.
Yeah, and I think they teach math for culinary because that's probably different than just straight up algebra. You need to know exactly the things that you mentioned. Yeah.
Definitely.
So do you want to see the kitchen at all, or?
That's up to you.
Okay.
I'm down.
Okay.
Sounds awesome.
All right. Well, so I want to show you a little bit about the kitchen, Patrick. And you can see, this looks like a restaurant style kitchen, right?
Oh, yeah.
These are the monitors that the orders would come in on, right? So
Absolutely.
Some of the stuff we use and some of the stuff we don't use, but it's a real great way for students to see what it's really like.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of the equipment here you can see is original, like when it was the Button Factory restaurant, it just stayed here. And some of it that looks newer, like this stove here, we actually added because students needed this experience of cooking on this gas stove. So this is an 8-burner huge stove. is this what you use when you cook your ramen?
Yeah, no, not that big. I actually got like a flat top, so I kind of just.
It's like a one.
Yeah, just there's like 3 small ones and then like a larger one.
Okay.
I don't know. This is too high tech for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see the fumes and stuff are being, you know, sucked up here. So we because the button factory hadn't been active for several years, we did a full inspection and brought everything up to code because, you know, there's a lot of safety issues to deal with in a kitchen. Actually, I just read that there was a fire at Burger King on Monday night. So, I mean, stuff can happen.
Oh,
so. Let me show you some other stuff here.
A nice kitchen. It's much nicer than mine and bigger.
Yeah, so it's giant. I mean, you can imagine just layers of chefs, right, working here and prepping and stuff. So these are the ovens. And I think the class is actually doing baking right now. So if you look behind us, you can see like mixes for bread and cake, right? Cake, dry mixes. So I think that's part of their lesson right now. Again, you'll see the same set of burners on this side. So already you've got 16 burners that you can work from. When I came a couple of weeks ago to see the Career Academy students, they were in this area making risotto, and that had to be something that has to be stirred all the time, and so they were working on all of these burners here, and we were able to taste something.
Absolutely.
So let me show you one more piece, which is a huge walk-in cooler, and you kind of get an idea of the scope of this place. And this is all of the equipment that we have access to. Again, this is everything you'll see in a huge restaurant. Yeah.
Nice. It's a deluxe.
Really huge, isn't it? It's like a house, yeah. So this is the walk-in cooler. You don't want to get stuck in here. There's actually an even colder section right in there. So this is like your refrigerator, right? And then there'd be a freezer section in there. Yeah.
Insane. That's awesome.
I know, yep. So we have a great relationship with a couple of food vendors that help our SCOT program. And also help our program here. Is there anything else you guys want to show in the kitchen here?
Hello. Chef Boyardee right here.
Okay, so Patrick, tell me about the video class and like stuff that you're working on right now.
We break up into groups, and so we have different groups, and unfortunately we have a group, well, the whole class is about 9 guys, just guys, so it gets kind of awkward at times, because when the roll calls for a lady, one of us has to throw on a wig, and so there's that, but I'm in a group of 5, and we get to go off and do our own videos and make our own stuff, and so it's really exciting because the last project we get to do, we can do whatever we want, and so in my group we decided we're going to make an indie film, and so I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to do stuff. You get to go out with like high quality cameras and just record stuff and just, you know, bounce like all these ideas off of a couple of buddies of yours and just come up with all sorts of stuff. It can be a variety of things. It's just as long as you like record it and it's good quality and high quality content. And so
is editing part of the class too? Then you had to put it into a final product.
And what is it, like you have to compile it all into one area and then get rid of the excess and what you don't want, and so it's really interesting. I really like all the process I'm not really focused on just one part. I like the entire process. It's something that I enjoy to do. I didn't know that I had such a passion for it, so it's interesting to see where this road takes me.
Right. So it's kind of maybe similar to cooking, where you start with like those raw ingredients, right? That we saw in the kitchen, like the onion, and you just chop up, and then as you add things, it becomes something else.
Oh yeah,
the
it
final
comes together.
product, right?
Exactly.
Right.
It's crazy because you get it starts off as just ideas, and that's just the bare essentials, and you slowly progress it through this line, and next thing you know, at the end, you have this finalized project. It's a nice video. It's got music in the background. It's got all this nice stuff, and it looks good. It's high quality, and it's exciting to see that process and see how things come together like that.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Hello, welcome to a part 2 of our interview. This is at Big Tune. I have Chef Jordan and
Hey, guys.
Stuart, and we're going to be talking about the new Maxwell Steakhouse that's opening up. It's a brand new restaurant coming into Muscatine, and I'm excited to talk about it with these two people, and let's get it going. So, what can you tell me about Maxwell Steakhouse?
Well, first of all, we're very excited to offer this to the community here in Muscatine. The Merrill Hotel is going to be absolutely beautiful, phenomenal building. The steakhouse we're very excited about too. It's going to bring some upscale food to the community, and hopefully people won't have to drive from Muscatine to the Quad Cities for a good steak nowadays. We're hopefully going to be able to deliver a great product for our hotel guests as well as local diners. So.
All right. And what past experience have you had in the cooking industry?
I recently moved out here from California, my wife and I, and my background there in California was mostly with the big Indian casinos that are out there, and aside from that, a lot of the 4-star, 4-diamond resorts in San Diego and Orange County area.
All right. So we always have that one dish that we always crave whenever we go into a restaurant. What is your favorite entree when it comes to the menu?
Myself, I'm lucky to be here doing Maxwell's because I enjoy a very good steak, so that would be my thing.
All right. And what's yours, Jordan?
I'd have to be also T-bone steak or ribeye. It's really good.
Man, I can't deny a nice fettuccine Alfredo with
Well, that's really good too.
thick,
Seafood
hearty chicken cuts, and that's it. But anyways, what's something that you avoid, like that's a no-go?
I'd probably never get like a meatball marinara. Has too much sauce on it, so I'd probably avoid. I don't really like too much sauce on the spaghetti or anything like that.
You can't get lost in the sauce.
No.
You can't. And you?
Me, I stay away from Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
Don't care for them, love to cook them, but don't like to eat them.
All right. And what got you interested in that? This is what you would want to do, like be a chef and go into the culinary arts.
For me, I was kind of lucky. I came from a family that was a lot of chefs, and I had relatives that had restaurants in my background, and my mother was an excellent cook. She got me started when I was young. And when I was 16 years old, I actually got to meet Wolfgang Puck at Spago Restaurant in Hollywood. And when I met him, I knew right there that it was going to be what I wanted to do, and went to the California Culinary Academy in San Francisco and just took off from there. And also learned that, actually I like to also carve ice, so I'm an ice sculptor as well. Done some professional things for that, and actually had a little ice carving company on the side back in California.
All right.
That'd be pretty cool.
And what were your big motivations to have a restaurant here in Muscatine, in the heart of Muscatine?
For the hotel?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure how to answer that question. Actually, the hotel, the restaurant is actually part of the hotel. So the owners wanted to be able to have something more for the clientele that we're going to have here at the hotel.
Okay.
The hotel is actually what we call an IACC hotel, which is the International Association of Conference Centers, and it's the only one in the state of Iowa. So it's very, very prestigious for us, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me to to actually be a part of this, be part of the opening staff, and we're pretty excited about that. But from the owner standpoint and the management standpoint, we're just so excited to be able to open this place and have the facility that we have. I mean, it's an awesome opportunity for all of us. So.
All right. Yeah, I think it's awesome that we have this main attraction with the restaurant and the hotel. Like, it's just a big attraction that's gonna help smaller businesses surrounding the downtown area, to help them strive and prosper and do. And I don't know.
No, it's an excellent thing that you brought up, that we are actually partnering, not so much partnering, but getting with the chefs and the restaurant owners in the area, because we also want to give our guests the opportunity to go out to the community and eat at the nice dining restaurants that are here. And I mean, there's a lot of places. I haven't been able to try them all. Unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of time, but the ones that I've had, they're great. And we're actually encouraging our guests to go out into the community and help support the local community while they are here.
All right. And so, is MCC Culinary students going to be helping me with that? Or?
They are going to be. I've actually hired one right now, and they're going to be able to, as we build banquet business and get more developed with our clientele and get busier, they are going to be able to come and do some of their externship hours with us and actually use that as part of their classwork. Right. So we're really excited about having that opportunity to work with the school and be able to do that.
Okay. And I see that Jordan's going to be working for you, and Jordan, I would like to ask you, like, why did you want to work at Maxwell Steakhouse?
Yeah.
And, like, are you excited?
I'm very excited. I've previously worked at Hy-Vee Chinese, used to cook some Chinese food along with a couple other cooks that are at Hy-Vee right now. I've been working at Hy-Vee for about 4 years right now and enjoying it, so I thought I'd have a nice opportunity to come to the new Maxwell Steakhouse to get a new experience of cooking or serving. Either one would be really fun. Thought I'd have a nice opportunity to.
You'll get to do both.
For sure, thanks.
Yeah, man, I'm very excited and to see how everything comes out. I know that it's going to be a big attraction. I know you guys are going to be getting a lot of business, and it's going to be great for the people that are coming over here from internationally to do business over here, and it's going to be a great place for them to stay and welcome them.
Yeah.